Flight radar, I think.
Flight radar.
Yeah.
Well, there's flight aware, flight radar.
The headline in the Star Tribune today is Walz bracing for pardon in Floyd murder. And I find myself thinking that headline's a bit of a stretch. There is no official knowledge of, and the pardon apparently would have to come from the president. There is no official knowledge that Trump intends to pardon Chauvin, in which case that could only be from his federal sentence. He'd still have to serve here. But what is being said, and Walz actually said the words, this is something Trump would do. So, on the one hand, I can understand why Walz and Frey and Keith Ellison and all the other usual suspects would react as though in alarm because they would anticipate rioting, even though at the time it happened, they didn't call it rioting. They called it peaceful protest.
Right.
But now they're worried that it could unleash more peaceful protests. I'm feeling duped, and I don't know who's duping me. I feel that they're sowing the seeds of discontent where they may not even be needing to.
Or leading the witness.
Well, yeah, they're setting the table for a riotous outbreak, probably not only here, but maybe in many, many places. If Trump decides to pardon Chauvin, they're anticipating all hell will break loose.
Why was this even being brought up?
Thank you. Yeah, help me, folks. Why is this the play story in today's Tribune?
To me, it's simple, and I think you're on the right track. Just keep talking it out. This, to me, is really interesting propaganda that the CIA has used around the world in other situations where the left is bringing this up just to make, Orange Man look bad and just keep the hatred boiling for conservatives and the left. But when you dig deeper, you see that there's a bit of truth that they've based this nonsense on, and it all comes from Musk and who's that little twit?
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro.
So these
from 2 weeks ago, Joe.
Social media posts.
Right. Well, Shapiro started didn't he start some sort of campaign, John?
Well, he wanted to start, yes,
a petition or something.
A petition to send to the president to pardon Derek Chauvin, and that was amplified.
And I think that was just enough of something for them to grasp a hold of and prop up and get the media all riled up, and then get all the non-newspaper readers from the left all riled up. And it's been interesting watching it develop, but I think you're right. I think it's nonsense.
When asked by White House reporters in March, so these rumblings have been since March.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was early May.
When asked by White House reporters in March about pardoning Chauvin, Trump said, "No, I have not heard about that."
Oh, okay, March.
Yeah.
Trump, yeah.
Sources told Jay Coles the Minnesota Department of Corrections is ready to pick up Chauvin at a federal penitentiary in Arizona and bring him back to Oak Park Heights in Minnesota to serve the remainder of his 22 and a half year sentence. Over the weekend, Ellison went on MSNBC. What else would he go on?
Right.
To say Chauvin will not be set free. He still owes Minnesota 22 and a half years, and he's going to do it either in Minnesota or somewhere, but he's not getting out, said Ellison. Then on Monday, when asked about the possibility of a pardon, just 2 days ago, Walz told reporters no indication whether they're going to do it or not, but I think it behooves us to be prepared for it. With this presidency, it seems like something they would do. Sources also said the city of Minneapolis is almost certain that next week the U.S. Department of Justice will file a petition with the court to end the consent decree over reform at MPD. If that happens, sources said the city would file a brief challenging the DOJ's filing and could then take up to 6 weeks to get a ruling from the judge. So what the powers that be are suggesting is that Minneapolis police would be free of that consent decree that they're working under. And somehow this would rub protesters the wrong way. Right. John, you said, run by me what we were talking about off the air, something about briefing, and we were wondering who's doing the briefing.
Yeah, that's the part of the story I didn't understand at first. And I did find apparently these rumors are what led to all this because Todd Barnett, who's the Minneapolis Community Safety Commissioner, he runs that commission. I found a quote from him and I wrote it down, which seems to indicate the rumors led them to brief these people. He said, quote, "No credible intelligence indicating a pardon is coming, but the city is taking precautions to prepare for any eventuality. We have heard the same rumors as everyone else." So it sounds to me like they just heard the rumors and thought, well, we better have this plan or whatever, and started briefing whoever.
Well, it would be novel of them to have a plan. They didn't have one 5 years ago, so maybe it's wise that they have a plan in store.
Wouldn't there be a better chance, Joe, of the court reversing its findings due to the supposed perjury now of Katie Blackwell? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's problems with the trial, and you would think that would serve as a better chance to set him free than Trump swooping in and letting him go.
If courts determined that there was a fatal flaw in the trial, and but the courts can't pardon Chauvin. The pardon would only have to come from Trump.
Right. It wouldn't be a pardon. It would have to be a retrial, would it not? Yeah.
And would that result in riotous behavior?
Oh my God! Of course it would. Anything other than him serving his full term is going to result in rioting, because in the public's and the mind's eye, no matter what happened, no matter what the facts are, what's been found out, he is guilty.
To Kenny's point, there were two trials. Did she testify in both or just one? I'm not sure of that. I can look it up and see what I can find.
On a story now. Let me do some digging here.
It was a controversy about what was involved in the training manual.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And she said the knee on the neck was not in the training manual.
And she was backed up by the chief.
And it was in the training manual.
Absolutely. And they had used it in training themselves, yes.
And it's really not on the neck. It's more in the base of the neck and the shoulder blade
Upper shoulder area, yes, correct.
Well, those are splitting some fine hairs.
The
video of Chauvin was powerful.
That was a bystander shot video, and evidently the body-worn camera video was not allowed, if I remember right. Yeah. It's going back a long time. But they had what they thought was video evidence, and they were, for some reason, not allowed to use it. That doesn't make sense now that I've heard myself say it.
When I feel duped, I would go so far, and this is how pathetic my cynicism has become. I would go so far as to believe Walz would be desperate for a distraction from the failures he's committing day after day as the governor of the state. And so here could come an incident where he could appear to be on top of it, or, preparing a plan right away. And,
he's got wonderful quotes in here. If you're a fan of Governor Walz, you'll love reading this story. You're right, Joe.
Gwen could be ready to smell those burning tires again.
Yes.
I don't know what to think. I think it's, I hope for the sake of civility, there's a peaceful spring in our future here, but nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me.
I think we're getting played.
It sure feels like it.
And I think the left, the general left, just the people going about their day-to-day business who are really not on top of things are getting played by their own people. They're getting all wound up and fired up about something that isn't really going to happen.
And if there was really good reasons to pardon Chauvin, and I'm not suggesting I know the answer to that, and Trump pardoned him, it would still be the evil thing for the orange man to do. The public's not going to let Trump off the hook.
No, like we've said, facts be damned in this case.
Mm-hmm. So it sets up, they've certainly set up some intrigue for the next 2 weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, I'll say.
Aren't we coming up on the 5-year anniversary?
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend, you're right.
It makes you wonder what's around the corner. What's the next phony news story they're going to throw in our